Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and across the interwebs, from me is Tad. Just Tad. Phil
Hi.
is sleeping, I think. I think Phil was
Bill
like,
is not feeling well this morning
he's not,
and took the
yeah.
morning off. I
Yeah.
question his dedication.
Every day. That guy. I mean, come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
you took like months off, dude, and you're questioning his dedication.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about him. I didn't
Uh,
realize we were gonna like turn this around. Um,
I'm the one who never
okay,
skips an episode, though I did
so
take way too long to get last week's episode up. It didn't go up until like Thursday.
really, I
Yeah,
didn't even notice.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. I
look at
failed. I
what do you
failed my
think?
listeners.
I've given myself a new name this morning on your
Let's,
screen.
oh yeah, Roy G. Biv.
Yep, I was gonna separate it and just be like Roy G and then Bib, but
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm just in a weird mood this morning.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. Because like April Fool's Day was this week, and we
Hmm.
got mad about DC and a trailer about mad about DC,
It
and
was so
both
good.
were really, really awesome. So
Yeah.
go watch the trailer and then go read the comic book
Uh,
because
Yeah, it was great. When it came out, I grabbed it and it's been on the top of my pile. And then as I look at it, I'm like, oh, I'll get to that later. And I grab from underneath it and and I have not got to it yet.
see what I really this is one of the cooler things about it. Um, so when I somehow this had flown under my radar. I don't know I don't know how this flew under my radar, but it did. Um and I I'm trying to figure out what I did with your face. I'm gonna stop the share and reshare. Actually, I don't need to share because you've got your own thing pulled up.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, it had flown under my radar, so I forgot to like add it to any pull lists. Um, but I still have Daredevil on my pull list at Dreamland and Libertyville because I didn't want to sever my connections to them.
Hmm.
So when I went to grab my Daredevil, I asked Charlie if he had any, and and officially he didn't because the other guy in the store was going to be buying the last two copies, but the guy in the store is like, oh no, he can have one. I don't want to like you know. Um,
It was
I made certain it
nice.
was okay that, but I got the Simon Bisley cover, which I mean, first of all, the Simon Bisley cover is pretty cool, and I have a Bisley story coming up in Great Responsibility, so don't let me forget that. Um, but and I've never seen this before, but I loved it. The variant cover is like it's like a second cover. Like when you open the Bisley cover, you get the original Mad Magazine. I forget who did that one. Um, the oh, who did the cover of the? You're not even helping me out here, man.
I'm
Just
sorry.
leave
I'm
it.
I'm half distracted with something that's just came up on my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh, I see. I see.
I'm sorry. I'm
The
sorry.
Dan Panosian cover.
Yes.
So it's got the Bisley cover, but underneath is the Panosian cover.
Okay.
Which and I'm just seeing now. I'm gonna have to go track down or order if they have it. The Zdarsky cover is amazing.
Yeah.
So
It's cool.
actually, do you have your order stuff? Can you see if it's sold out?
Okay. No, I don't have that up right now.
Okay.
Sorry. Nope.
That's okay.
Okay.
Oh wow, not even a drawing of Jim Lee saying "What me hurry." That's our mad guarantee, featuring zero jokes about Hush 2 being late. Uh, oh, wow.
Funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know how this ran under my radar because
Hmm.
it's so good.
It's a something I'm definitely looking forward to this afternoon when I'm bored of my holiday lunch people guests, and I will just like walk away and pick up a Mad magazine and just put it right up in my face. Uh,
Right.
I do have actual Mad magazines right here from the last. Uh,
I love
see,
I
here's
I love Mad, and it sounds like they're about to start doing stuff with more new material. Um
well, that's
w
awesome.
which
I'm just gonna be
like
like at
it was
at.
frustrating that we only had reprint issues going.
Mm-hmm.
Um so that
This will
that
be
makes me happy.
this will be me at Easter lunch. Just Mad magazine pulled up in front of my face, like just don't talk to me.
That seems reasonable.
I agree. Okay. Um,
Um
what's
but
next
then
on our
Ronald Wimberly and of course I'm like writing an email when I need to be looking at Ronald Wimberly and Mike Rock. Wimberly's a cartoonist that I love and we've had on the show. Mike Rock is a animation guy. He did Rock Brothers Animation is the name of his production company, but they're starting a venture called Wild Signal
okay.
that will apparently release radical storytelling in a variety of formats. Julian Glander, Tundi Adebimpe, and Saul Williams are already being announced in the press release at least.
Oh, nice.
And their first release is a vinyl limited edition soundtrack of Boys Go to Jupiter, which is Julian Glandy's animated synth pop musical film.
Do you like Saul Williams music in general?
I do actually.
I do too. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Saul Williams, but I love Ronald Wimberly. So like I'm like digging that he's got a new project going.
Yeah.
So I will be watching that and then wow, this has been a week. Uh
Hmm. Okay, so let's start this off early in the week. We of last week, it came out that Christy Gnome's husband Brian was cross-dressing and distributing photos of himself to somebody who leaked them.
multiple people.
Yeah. And in the cross-dressing, he
I
was
think I
wearing,
think he was doing video calls with
oh, okay.
like paid sex workers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in
They
the
took screenshots.
in that he was wearing a suit for large breasts. It was definitely a fetish site because this was like
Yeah.
astronomically out of proportion, the suit he was wearing. And he Christy, of course, freaks out and she's asking for privacy this week while her family deals with this. There's no way that she didn't know this was going on though.
I
Uh
mean, there's lots of ways. She was busy boning Corey Lewandowski on government airplanes that had bedrooms.
true. It's just yeah. I have a hard time believing she was caught off guard because with these people, it's all about projection, 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 right? So it makes sense that she would have known about it, judging for how much she hates this kind of lifestyle, that she publicly proclaims that.
Well, I mean, he didn't have any surgery.
No,
It's
no,
just a fetish.
yep, yeah. We'll get
It's
him.
not like he became a woman.
They'll get him some
So
counseling.
so she's probably actually okay with it. What she's not okay with is that it left their bedroom. It might even be what attracted her to him in the first place. You
Hmm.
know, I mean. she's like, I always wanted to marry a man with bigger boobs than me.
Maybe. All I know is that uh, I my first reaction was like, oh, good for him. And then my second reaction was, oh my God, this is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I do have to say that there is a certain level of difficulty because like I, I have zero problem with it. I think it's cool
Same,
that he
same.
expresses himself however the fuck he feels like expressing himself. On the
Yes,
flip
yes.
side, there is such a level of Schadenfreude because you know that she, and if not she, at least everybody who thinks she's cool does have a problem with it.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Yeah, that
uh,
I want to make that
like,
distinction. I don't have any problem with what Brian Nome was doing.
like,
Uh,
well, but it's like, I mean, on one side, like I'm all for this being private. On the other side, I'm also all for not deporting 5-year-olds.
yes. Yeah.
And apparently it leaked as retaliation. One of the sex workers that he was doing this with was an immigrant, and she found out who he was. I mean, this totally got out there because of Christie's actions.
Oh, funny.
Um,
And then the second piece of news that brightened my week, um, horrible cunt witch Pam Bondi has been let go.
well, I mean, I have two. I mean, again, like with Christie, couldn't have happened to a finer woman.
Right, right.
Um,
Oh,
but
poor
but
girl.
there are three things that I want to point out that
Sure.
are mildly like concerning about like her being let go. The first is the timing, which is, oh, I totally bombed my Iran speech. How do we change the news cycle? Um, because it was right after that like debacle of a speech where like he was supposed to be like laying out objections and soothing the nation and that sort of thing, and just failed miserably.
Yeah.
We
So,
destroyed them.
yep.
We've totally destroyed them, and but we're going to be there for a while. Uh, they're totally on board with peace. We're almost there, and we're having fruitful negotiations, and that's good because otherwise we're going to bomb them back into the Stone Age.
Yeah, it was just all over the place. And then um I don't know. It I'm not sure if it's a political maneuver to get like did he think
Right.
that she wouldn't have to testify against him if he let her go?
I mean, he might, but because he
She
is that
still
stupid.
does. She still
Right.
does.
But then the second thing is, like he's essentially firing her for being incompetent at doing illegal things.
Correct. Yep.
So, what are the chances that she will be replaced with anybody that like is even one iota better?
Correct.
And and better in his eyes would be being successful at doing illegal things.
I agree. Yeah. She's just not
Um,
corrupt enough for his taste.
So, I mean, it's like, hey, why are you bothering with the courts? Why aren't you just use? And I shouldn't say this out loud because the NSA is listening, and somebody will decide they want a promotion. And they'll say, hey, this podcaster's got a great idea for you, Donald. Um, why aren't you just using the FBI to disappear people? Why are we bothering with trying to take them to court?
I agree. I mean, it'll come to that, but
Um, but third, uh, and in some ways this feels small, but like who are his first two fires of this new administration?
the ladies. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, I know. I
right.
mean, but here's the thing though. They were justifiably horrible people. So
They
it's
were, but they're no more horrible than Pete Hegseth.
correct. I agree. Yeah.
Howard Lutner,
Here's
I went to lunch at the Epstein's once and they told me about a sexual massage and I said, "You're gross," and we never spoke again. Oh, well, we just happened to be the Caribbean and we needed lunch. So it was my family and our nannies and we just had lunch.
yes, I agree. It is ridiculous.
I
Um,
mean, so like, yeah.
it's funny.
If people weren't dying, it would be funny. Y-
Yes, correct.
y-
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. It is a weird situation we're in right now. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. Well,
So
there was like
yeah.
I think there was like one more thing that I cannot remember that happened that was pretty
I mean,
interesting.
he did go to the Supreme Court. He sat for oral arguments at the Supreme Court. First
True.
president ever to do that. And for the birthright citizen case.
God.
And then and people who are experiencing this say this is like this is something that's absolutely not done. He left early.
He just got up and left.
I think he left between the I think he left after the US had made their case and before the ACLU did, so it wasn't quite like he just stormed out and like he was smart enough to sit in the back and not make too big a deal of himself, but like it doesn't actually look like even this court is going to strike down birthright citizenship. One of my favorite parts was when the government's lawyer was talking about how there were 8 billion people that were a plane ride away from having a child that was a US citizen. It's a whole new world. And John Roberts is like, it is a whole new world, but it's the same constitution.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there was pushback from fucking Brett Kavanaugh. When you got Brett
Hmm.
Kavanaugh slapping you around on your MAGA stuff,
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
he's really
horrible.
not capable of slapping around on most things. So, like, when you've got Brett Kavanaugh slapping you around rather than sounding like an idiot,
Hmm. He's stepping it up.
uh, Neil Gorsuch asked about Native Americans, and
Hmm.
and the government lawyer didn't have an answer
What?
as to whether Native Americans would be citizens. Um, yeah, yeah. It did not go well. It did not go well. Thank God.
Well,
But
let's say this.
I can't imagine Donald like went down there and then watched it not go well and was happy.
Correct. So, what are they trying to do with getting rid of this birthright citizenship? Does that mean that you or I could be deported because we angered the great Donald Trump?
I mean, at this moment, no. What they're trying to do is say that if your parents aren't citizens, just because you're born here doesn't mean you're a citizen.
Okay, I didn't know if that was as far as they wanted to take it.
I mean
Well,
that's as far as it's. I mean, once you start chipping at it,
I know that's pretty soon. It's like, well, that's pretty much everybody.
remember when they like started chipping away at the Voting Rights Act, and it's like, oh, we're only doing this. This is, you know, and
Yeah,
now it might as well not exist.
yes, yeah.
So yeah, no, it's dumb. It's dumb. So let's talk some cool looking new to order comics. Initial orders are due at your comic shop on April 23rd. Tyler, you're leading off today.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, this new book, as soon as I find it, is called Dungeons and Dragons Total Party Killers, number one. And the wizard Kustos has died, and his lair lies ripe with for the taking. As adventurers raid the lair of treasure, the monsters enthralled by Kustos in the life must protect his domain even after his death. That is, unless the creatures can trick someone into releasing them. Thus, a lycanthrope, gelatinous cube, mind flayer, death knight, and baby beholder form their own adventuring party to win their freedom in a hostile world. This is from Dark Horse from Christopher Hastings and illustrated by Dennis Medry. Looks like we're final order cutoff of June 8th and will be in shops July 22nd.
All right. The first Flux House book due to come out from Oni Press.
Mm-hmm.
Mind Management New and Improved #1 from Matt Kint. 10 years ago, the extra governmental agency known as Mind Management exploded in a barrage of bullets and brain matter. Those that survived had gone underground, forging new lives with unremarkable identities and falsified pasts to obfuscate the strange abilities that once made them highly prized assets in the global war for psychic control. Now, two investigators, Detective Delphi and Detective Swan, have found themselves at the center of an unexpected puzzle. Here, a man poisoned in a coffee shop with a sophisticated neurotoxin. There, a supposed suicide victim run over by a train with his arms found in a trash can 5 miles from the tracks. Their connection? Someone is killing former mind management agents in improbable and arcane ways. Seemingly impossible crimes committed by a faceless killer capable of evading even the most pervasive digital surveillance. What secret are they killing to protect? Who will be next? Has mind management returned? Did it ever go away? You are paranoid, but are you paranoid enough? Final order cutoff is May 20 or April 27th, in stores on June 24th. I am psyched as hell. I love mind management.
It's
Have
good.
we
It's
done
good.
mind management on the show yet?
No, not as a whole, like look at the
You
at it
said
as
that
a
you
whole.
were interested in possibly doing a book club. That might be the
Yep,
one.
I am. Yeah.
And it might be another one worth going slow,
Mm-hmm.
like an issue at a time rather than because there's so much.
I would not mind that at all. Matt
Yeah,
Kent is so good.
we'll have to consider that.
Okay. All
We'll have to
right.
consider that.
Should
So
jump to graphic novels
yeah,
since
and I get to go first this time.
yep.
Graphic novels, Love and Desire in the Promised Land, The Private Lives of Israelis and Palestinians from Salome Parent Rashidi and Dalupi. Love and Desire in the Promised Land gives voice to a dozen real-life citizens of Israel, Gaza, and the West Bank who navigate messy boundaries in their homes and bedrooms against a background of geopolitical violence. Collecting interviews conducted before the October 7th attack unleashed a new wave of bloody conflict. The book introduces fascinating individuals and couples who speak frankly about the transgressions that define their experiences with intimacy. The portrayals represent a diverse population, including an interfaith celebrity power couple, an Orthodox gynecologist, a young gay Muslim, a Palestinian American feminist, a Ukrainian Israeli artist, and a Palestinian lesbian in a relationship with an Israeli soldier.
Okay. I'm sorry. Now, when we talk about Orthodox gynecologist, are we talking about like they're just like a strict gynecologist or are they a Jewish
I
gynecologist?
think it's an Orthodox Jew kind of gynecologist.
Okay. I thought it was a descriptor for the kind of gynecologist they were.
I didn't know that there was an Orthodox gynecologist, but I know that
I
there
do
are Orthodox Jews. So
no,
I'm
you're
going to
right.
assume that it's an
I
Orthodox Jew.
But it's funny though if you read it like
No,
because
no, I get where you're coming from,
yeah.
but
Anyway,
yeah.
okay, you go on. I will shut up.
Uh, uh, Through these candid conversations recorded by Parent Rashidi and illustrated with a warm touch by DeLupi, the authors illuminate a culture and a people whose humanity has been shrouded by the fever pitch of politics and the tragedy of genocide. In a strict society where norms are enforced by tradition, religion, and the threat of violence, these ordinary citizens follow their heart and risk it all in the name of love and desire.
That's awesome.
That's from Fantagraphics Books.
It looks
Uh,
great.
Final order cutoff is April 27th, in stores on June 10th.
All
Yours looks
right.
pretty good too, Tyler.
The next one I have up is X-Men. This one is not coming out from Marvel, though. This is an Abrams book. It's called All New, All Different X-Men Elsewhere from John Byrne.
Else
Let
when?
Elsewhen, excuse me, Elsewhen. Yep. Legendary comic creator John Byrne returns to the title he first drew 50 years ago, Uncanny X-Men. With this one-of-a-kind new graphic novel series, X-Men Elsewhen, this three-volume graphic novel series picks up the story from Byrne's original run, taking the characters in new and unexpected directions. Volume 1 of X-Men Elsewhen, the Dark Phoenix saga is over, and Phoenix is alive. Diverging from the epic finale of the original storyline from 1984, X-Men Elsewhere presents a universe where Jean Grey's powers and intellect have been greatly reduced, and from there, everything you thought you knew about the X-Men is forever changed. So John Byrne's monumental return to the X-Men heads in entirely new and surprising directions. All right, this is going to be final order cutoff of May 11th and will be in shops June 24th. Very cool. Again, from Abrams.
Yeah, I'm certain it's in conjunction with Marvel. They can't do it without
Yep.
some sign off.
Yep.
And you have the first collection.
Yes, moving on to our collected editions, I picked Batman Static Beyond from Evan Narcisse and Narcisse. How do you pronounce that? Evan
Narcisse.
Narcisse, Nicholas Draper Ivy, and art by Nicholas Draper Ivy, Miguel Mendonca. Okay. A return to the Beyond universe that will send a shock to your system. Bum, bum. In the not so distant future, young hero Terry McGinnis patrols the neon lit streets of Neo Gotham as Batman Beyond. Meanwhile, Virgil Hawkins, better known as Static, forges a new technological revolution in Dakota City with his groundbreaking invention, the Q-Wave energy grid, promising clean power for all. Together, and alongside the Justice League Beyond, the heroes are united in anticipation of Earth's long-awaited induction into the interplanetary alliance known as the Cooperative. Everything seems to be going smoothly until the menacing new villain Shutdown arrives on the scene, creating chaos and putting the planet's future at risk. At the center of all this mayhem is the unlikely but dynamic duo of Static and Batman Beyond, who must set aside their differences and work together to save the world before it is too late. Final order cutoff is May 25th and will be in shops on August 4th from DC and Elseworlds.
Alrighty. And
DC Milestone, excuse me.
yeah. I am also doing a DC milestone because
Oh,
we
yes, you are.
have Compendium 5 features a never-before-seen milestone story for the first time in publication. The original milestone universe ends in this final compendium that collects the remaining series runs of Static, Hardware, Icon, and Blood Syndicate. This volume also features the Heroes and Wise Son White Wolf miniseries, plus other appearances of Static throughout the early 2000s during the height of the Static Shock animated series. Collects Blood Syndicate numbers 33 to 35, Hardware 39 to 50, Heroes 1 to 6, Icon 38 to 42, Milestone Forever 1 and 2, Static 32 to 45, Static Shock Rebirth of the Cool, 1 to 4. Static Shock Special, number 1. And Wise Son, the White Wolf, numbers 1 to 4, plus bonus content from the 9/11 World's Finest Comic Book Writers and Artists Tell Stories to Remember, number 2. Superman and Batman Magazine, number 7. And for the first time ever, an exclusive look at the never before published Zombie Hanukkah Special by John Rossum and Guy Davis. Final order cutoff on this is May 11th, and it will be in stores on July 21st. We're about to roll into Milestone Compendium 4
Yep.
on our
On your
milestone
journey.
journey on our on the Milestone Book Club. So we'll probably get to this one sometime early next year.
All right. Ted, I'll do the final order cutoff if you want, Ted.
Yes, go for it.
The final order cutoff for the week of ending on Monday, April 13th. Cal Exit, Say Goodbye to Hollywood from Matteo Pizzolo, C. Granda from Black Mask on May 13th. Dog Tag from Mark Russell and PJ Holden from Mad Cave comes out May 6th. If Destruction Be Our Lot from Matt Rosenberg, Mark Elijah Rosenberg, and Andy McDonald from Image on May 6th. And Olympus Saga Megalith. This looks great, by the way. I just put my order in for this. Matt Kent. Matt Kent.
I went I mean, this will come up more later, but the Bad Idea panel was right after my last panel, so I just stayed in the room and enjoyed it. And yes, it looks very good.
Yes, so that's Matt Kent and Louis LaRosa from Bad Idea out on May 13th. So I was very excited. I was doing this particular order for next Monday yesterday, and I came across Olympus Saga Megalith, and that's the first time I had seen it. I'm like, oh, what's Matt Kent done? I'm like, oh, this looks awesome. So, anywho, what's going on for crowdfunding?
We still have a nice slate of crowdfunding stuff. Action Philosophers, Modernity Bites from Fred Van Lente, Ryan Dunleavy at Rocket Ship Entertainment on Kickstarter through April 9th. Junji Ito's In Old Records, a horror drama on vinyl.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, I ordered one. Adapted by Ryan Cady with audio work from Poppy from 00 Enterprises on Kickstarter through April 11th. The Monster of Blackenstein, not to be confused with Blackenstein, by David F. Walker and Marcelo Di Chiara on Kickstarter through April 13th. I've read this. It's fantastic.
Okay, so that's actually the title, The Monster of Blackenstein with a Y, and then it says not to be confused with Blackenstein with an EI.
Right.
Okay, just checking if that's actually.
And I actually asked him if like it was supposed to be a Blackenstein thing, and nope, it's Blackenstein. Though he let me guess. He was curious as to how I was reading it, and it's like it's fine, but it's actually because there was a horrible movie called Blackenstein in like the 70s.
Okay.
It's not that Blackenstein.
Okay.
That's why the
funny. I wasn't sure if it was just like a disclaimer, like, hey guys, it's not that Blackenstein, but it is actually part of the title, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Star Wolf from John Coates is on Kickstarter through April 18th. Dan Dare, First Contact from Alex Campi and Mark Lamming from B7 Comics on Kickstarter through April 22nd. Business as Usual from Mark Bouchard and Shelby Criswell on Kickstarter through April 22nd, and Hallowed Ground from Michelle Abinader, Anthony Oliveira, Ian McEwen, Anis Abdallah, Heather Vaughn, Megan Camarina, Vash Taylor, MK Tram, JP Jordan, Len Gogu, Abby Frisco, Chris Ho, Richard Fairgray, Chloe Stowski, Brent Fisher, Teslin Bergen, Mitchums, and Duna Holler, Chloe Brailsford, Lydia Manette, Dom Manette, Michelle Abinader, Jessica Fong, at Deathline on Kickstarter through it says launches March 30th. Let's find out when it ends really quick. Um, I'm used to Phil reading that one.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
I know. It's a lot from Hollow Ground. While Tad's looking up the end date, the last one on the list is Stefan Frank's Complete Palomino from Dark Planet Comics, and it says launching soon.
Yes, and we're leaving that as launching soon because it has not launched, but we have talked to him about it, and I have read it, and it is amazing. So we are going to continue plugging that forever,
Hmm.
at least until it's funded. The Hallow Grant is through April 23rd.
Okay,
Um, so 18 more days to go. They're about halfway to their goal, and they're about to get a little bit closer as I back them. Um,
nice.
but
All right.
yeah.
Humble bundles this week. Love and Rockets and More, the collected Hernandez brothers from Fantagraphics. You get 57 items for $18. That's an amazing deal, you guys. Go for that one. And then that is going to the ACLU, and that has been extended through April 9th. EC Resurrection Bundle. If you like EC Oni stuff going on, go check out the EC Resurrection Bundle. That you get 39 issues for $18. And I'd have to look it up, but I'm not sure what CBLDF is, what
Comic Book
organization.
Legal Defense Fund.
Okay. Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, and that will be extended through April 7th. So you got a few more days to get on that. Um, the best of Joe Hill at IDW. Joe Hill is the writer of the Key Lock and Key series. Uh, that you get 15 items for $18, and that is going to the Book Industry Charitable Foundation. That ends at April 9th. This one I have already bought. For $25, you get 43 items from the collected Peanuts. Your money is going to
I've
the
gotten that one too.
yep. Your
You
money will
essentially
be
get everything Fantagraphics has done Peanuts related.
uh-huh. And that's going to the Canine Companions. It's very fitting. That ends April 19th. And then lastly, it's The Boys, the grand finale. Uh, you're for your $18, you will get 13 items. And again, that's going to the
Which is all 12 volumes, original volumes of the boys and the boys Dear Becky that came out a couple years ago. So it's essentially all of the boys comics for
yeah,
18 bucks.
that's awesome. And that is also going to the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. And get that go out and get that before April 23rd. That's when that will be ending. That is my sister's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm 44, so she'll be 38, in case anybody was wondering about my little sister.
Yeah. Yeah. So amazing books this week.
Yes.
Um
So many good books.
Mad About DC #1 takes my top spot. It's just
Hmm.
so fucking hilarious.
All of these books. I will tell a story about your number three when we get to it, but
Right. It was just fantastic. I can't it felt classic Mad. If you like DC, you know, it was lovingly lampooning them. Like it's just yeah, it hit the spot. Briar Knight's Tower #4, Chris and Alex stuck the landing on the end of their Briar tale here.
yep.
I very much enjoyed it. I'm hoping that it gets like a hardcover, all 12 issue compendium type thing, because that would definitely be a
Hmm.
thing that I put on my shelf. And I know that a friend of the podcast, Zach Quaintance, had mixed feelings about it at the beat, but I really enjoyed Bizarro Year None from Kevin Smith, Eric Carrasco, and Nick Pitara at DC.
Funny thing
Um,
about Bizarro, year one is
Year None,
year none, excuse me, number one, year none, number one, Kevin Smith. I had uh failed to order enough copies, and so I didn't get mine, but I do want to read it. But the rest of them in your honorable mentions are all amazing, and I sold out of
Oh,
several
they
of them
are.
like right away.
Oh yeah, no, this was a great week.
Hmm.
Daredevil was great. Batman Static is great. Babs is amazing.
Yes, it
I
is.
haven't
Yep.
actually read the Archie versus Army of Darkness yet, but that's isn't that no, that's not the Jimmy and Amanda one.
No,
But it
no,
still looks great.
it is. Yep.
Um, Batman #8 was amazing.
Yep.
And Kaya's next on my stack to read. So
Oh, okay.
like
So I would like to. So Toxic Avenger. Have you been reading that in since the beginning, or
I've been reading it since the beginning, but I've been reading it in bunches.
okay? Okay.
So I haven't read #8. Have you been digging it?
Yes. I'm really getting into that, and then the Toxic Crusaders as well.
Yeah.
That series is pretty good. Now, Daredevil #1 also came out. I noticed that wasn't on your top three. What did you think of it?
I loved it.
Okay.
I mean, like it was probably actually #5
Okay.
because Batman was that good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and you know me, I'm 3 or 9, and I didn't read 9 comics this week because
Yep.
I was busy.
Yep.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it could have like just looking at what's there, like it would have been #5. Babs, Babs and Kaya likely give you 6 and 7. 52 gives you 8.
Yeah.
And then I would have had to like catch up on a series to get to 9,
Okay. So that wasn't a possibility. I get it.
or read Army of Darkness Archie.
Yeah. Well, nor
So it wasn't a week where I was going to get to 9.
okay. Well,
Um,
Phil is gone, so we can't really take a walk with
no, Phil
Phil.
can't take a walk, so we'll take a walk with Tyler.
Yeah.
Do you have 4 things to talk about?
He
Either
let's
4
see.
comics that you read this week that you liked, or
I look at what Phil wrote here, and he said, "What series should I read next?" Phil, if you listen to this, go with Chainsaw Man. My Hero Academia is a little bit young, and I would think that you may get a little bit, I don't know, distract. It's just not as engaging for me. Um, so go ahead and try that. I would also going to be starting from the beginning is well, because there's just some kind of one shot that came out, but you're familiar with Hate, Ted? The Hate?
the Peter Bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've got a great Hate collection that just came in that I'm gonna read that, and then
Isn't that the collection of the Revisited?
not sure. It might be.
If it's volume 3, I think it's Hate Revisited, which was a series he did during the time that we've had this podcast that
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you read when it came out.
I probably did, but I have a terrible memory.
No, that's fair. I'm just
uh,
helping out. I'm helping out our listeners. Hi, Mom. Hi, John. Hi, Adam. Hi, Britt.
yeah. Um, and then I am very much looking forward to free comic book day. I just got in all my bundles for my giveaways.
Cool.
I have to unpack them, but there was very strict information in there about these are not to be distributed prior to May 2nd.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Superman Day is coming up too. So I got Superman Day promo stuff.
So
Uh,
did you manage to book anybody to come out for Free Comic Book Day?
we are having some cosplayers from Sioux Falls that will be doubling for Free Comic Book Day and Star Wars Day because I'm not going to open up on Monday. I'm generally not open on Mondays.
Right.
So I'm not going to turn around and open up on Monday because Star Wars Day in Laverne is not a big hoopla. And so I'm going to have a guy coming on New Comic Book Day 2 days earlier in Boba Fett costume, and then possibly some stormtroopers as well. He's seeing who he's lining up from his cosplay troop. So,
Gotcha.
yep.
So far, what we have at Modern Age is Tim Seeley, who
Oh,
also has two free comics coming out, Free Comic Book Day.
yeah.
Uh, so
I'm I haven't. I mean, it's kind of late in the game now, but I didn't really think about for my first comic book day about having like a guest because I don't want that like added layer of like having to like facilitate that and run new comic book day, you know? Um, but it'll work out. It's going to be cool. The only thing I need to really flush out right now is shelving for the free comic books. I'm not sure where to display them for people to come in and get them.
gotcha.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I got a month to go. Uh, so that was our walk with Phil slash Tyler. One Piece race week 83. Is it really week 83?
I think it's week 84 because I don't think I updated that. And there are also at some point I need to go back and like check because I feel like I may have neglected updating it multiple times, which is why I
Okay.
have a question mark there.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so have
But
you moved forward this
I
number?
was not becalmed.
Yeah.
I read 10 chapters. I finished off a volume.
It looks
Uh,
like, yeah, I'm like, you moved forward.
yeah, I finished off a volume. They have mostly successfully defended Fishtown and discovered that the the fish the fishwoman queen had not been killed by a human. She'd been killed by 10 years ago. She was killed by a fishman that didn't want her her initiative to normalize relations with the humans to go through. So he staged a thing to make it look like she was killed by a human. Um, as we see like echoes of global politics continue in One Piece, both in terms of racism and whatnot, and in terms of people wanting grudges to continue um, for their own reasons, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm hoping that I enjoyed it enough to keep me propelled forward. Um, but yeah,
That's
yeah. Did you
awesome.
read any One Piece this week, Tyler?
No, I did watch a little bit though of the live
Did you?
action. Yeah.
Okay.
The
How is the
the
live action?
well, I enjoy it.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, some of the characters you think they could do a little better on trying to like I don't know, keep true to the story. Like Usopp, I'm not a big fan of how they did him in the Netflix series. I think they did Usopp dirty. As far as like getting somebody that really encompasses that like crazy nose he has and that kind of stuff. Um, but
Right.
it's the
How do you
story's great.
compare it to the anime?
I think it's better.
You
The
think it's
story
better than the anime?
it's easier to follow. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, because what I've noticed is the with the anime, you're so focused on all the hyper details that he puts into his stories, and with the Netflix, it's got to be a little more concise than that. You know,
Okay.
it's got to be hitting the major points. So I like it that way. Kind of filters out all the extra.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I thought it was really cool. I got to get back to reading though. I really do want to get into it because it's one of those
I
things
mean, it
where
really is great.
it is, yeah.
I mean, I'm blown away that like I went 600 some odd chapters before I even fell off for a while.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I was in the
Um,
500s before I was like, yeah, I can't keep
I
going.
mean, how many comics can you think? I mean, because think about it. The chapters are what, 20 pages a piece?
Correct.
So 12,000 pages
Yeah, about 12,000 pages worth of reading. Yeah.
be before I slowed down.
Hmm.
Can you think of anything that you've read 12,000 pages in a row?
I know it's crazy, isn't it? I I cannot. I mean, maybe there's a book, Infinite Jest, that is very large. I don't know if it's
Yeah, but
12,000,
it's no, it's like
a
a
thousand.
thousand or so.
Yep. Yep, you're right.
Um, I mean,
That is
I was just thinking that like I have listened to The Wheel of Time. I haven't, I mean, I've read The Wheel of Time a couple of times, but I have the only times I've ever like gone nonstop without having like significant periods of going away was I've listened to it through a couple of times, right? Like where it was I listened every time I was in the car. Um, and it is about 10,000 pages,
wow.
like the 14 books,
Yeah, you're right. So that's pretty huge.
you know. 1,079 is what Infinite Jest is.
Okay.
Um, the first really long book that I read that I thought of how many pages was um Lonesome Dove is like 980 something,
Oh, is
right?
it?
Yeah. Um, but like again, I mean, you think a long
Long form stories like that. Um, and
I mean, I just want to make certain I'm not adding a zero. 20 times 600. Yep, 12,000.
correct. Yep.
Um, I'm trying to think of like, is there anything where I've read 600 issues of? I mean, I guess if you take, I read pretty much all of the Ultimate Universe once together.
The original Ultimate Universe or the,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
That probably comes up on 12,000 pages,
Probably.
but it was like seven different series
Yes. Yep, I agree.
plus
It's
miniseries plus, you know, but like, let's assume let's even assume 25 pages because a lot of the great series have enough double issues or longer issues to be close to that. So how many issues was Walking Dead?
100 and some, but I don't remember. It was like a weird number.
I think it
Uh,
wound up being 196,
yeah, I think that sounds
maybe
right.
197.
It was not like a nice round number. I remember
Well,
that.
because they ended unexpectedly.
Correct. They're just like, yep, we're done. I'm like, oh,
They even solicited like the next two, which is what I think is awesome.
oh, it's just to get everybody pumped up for it, and then you go,
That no, I mean so that nobody knew when they were coming to buy the comic that it was the
right.
last one.
Yep, right, right, right.
Um, which I just think is crazy awesome.
It's brilliant
Um,
for sure.
193 it was 193.
Okay.
So like going back to our calculator, 193, and again, we're going to give them 25 pages, which might be low, probably is actually high.
Mm-hmm.
193 times 25 is only 4,825 pages.
Okay, so that's the entire Walking Dead series. 4,000
It
pages.
is roughly a little bit more than a third of what I've already read of One Piece, and I'm like halfway through One Piece.
Uh-huh.
That's just crazy.
That's insane. That is a lot. Um, so that's our One Piece race is doing well. Phil has
I'm just gonna Google it because I don't feel like doing the so this is like all caveats. I'm going to do how many pages is One Piece currently?
sure.
I don't
In
feel
the
like finding
meantime,
it and doing the math. One Piece is currently 21,540 pages.
Okay, that's not bad. That's all right. That's all right. Kidding. That's insane. Uh, wow. I don't even know. I don't even have anything to add to that.
Yeah.
Um, so Phil has read probably no One Piece, but he is thinking about going on to other manga.
Oh, wait a
And
minute. Hold on a second, really quickly.
sure.
This is actually this is only through volume 102, which we're beyond that. There's a French artist named Ilan Monac
Okay.
who unofficially compiled the thickest single volume books ever to be published. Volumes volume a single volume of One Piece for 102 chapters, uh, bound by Elise de Mayo. It's 12 by 18 and a half by 80 centimeters and weighs roughly 17 kilograms.
Wow, that is a beast. That'd be cool though.
That would be
Get a hold
worth
of one of those.
seeing. I don't think I'd want to have one.
No, it would be we're seeing like 12 by 18. So we're talking a foot wide, okay, by a foot
All
and a
right.
half tall
All
and
right.
18 centimeters.
All right.
I don't know how deep that is, but it's big.
Yeah,
Um,
no, so yeah, according to Reddit, the East Blue Saga was 2184 pages. The Alabasta Saga was 2467 pages. The Skypiea Saga was 1794. The Ennis Lobby Saga was 2966. The Thriller Bark Saga was 1021. The Summit War Saga is 2255. The Fishman Island Saga, which is the one that I'm in the middle of, is 1032. Oh, and by the way, this is 3 years. This post is 3 years old. So, like,
oh wow.
DeRosa Saga will be next at 3041. Whole Cake Island Saga 2113. Wano Country Saga 2972. The final saga was at that time 604 pages and counting. Again, this post is 3 years old. So as of 3 years ago, it was at 22,449 plus pages.
Not bad. That is awesome. That is that's I can't wait till one of us finishes it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. Uh
Yeah.
all right, let's get to C2E2. What happened last week, Ted?
Oh, well, first of all the panels went well, which made me really, really happy. I met some cool
Yes.
people. I actually had one panel, and he's already emailed me. I need to reach out to him. A similar podcast to ours, where it was just a couple of buddies that like to talk comics, so they started a podcast. Um, and they're on hiatus because one of them is busy, but I will probably invite the other one to join us for a while. Um, I had a guy. Actually, let me find the email so we can plug his podcast really quick. Um, but yeah, no. After a panel, he actually came up to me. He's like, I came for all these people, but I should have come for you. You've put out 23 podcasts in the last month. Um,
Yes.
so this was Dan who had a podcast called Faces of the Moon Knight from 2021 and 22, and is now doing a Comics Over Time podcast. Um, and has contributed to the comic book Yeti, which we've had Jimmy Gasper on
Yeah.
from Comic Book Yeti.
Yeah.
But he's also a baseball guy. Loves comics. Yeah, smart guy, etc. So we had a good talk, and we'll definitely be hitting him up to come join us. Um, because he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
I told you to remind me about Simon Bisley. So Shelley Bond had told me that I needed to say hi to Simon Bisley for her. And
Okay.
I went and like that's what I started with. And he's like Simon or Shelley getting all tongue tied here. Too many S words. Simon's like Shelley who? I'm like, Shelley Bond. Shelley Bond. I don't know if I know a Shelley Bond. I'm like, Philip Bond's wife. Where does she live?
Was he messing with you?
Yes, he was totally messing with me.
Okay, okay, okay.
Eventually, it got to the point where I just said, the one that signs your checks.
That's funny.
But at that point, he'd already become fascinated because Edgar was with me. Dr. Ramos was with me, and he was wearing a vintage Harley Davidson jacket. And Simon was fascinated by the jacket.
Yep.
So Simon wound up trying on the jacket. I've got a picture of him and Edgar with Simon wearing Edgar's jacket.
Wearing Edgar
And
Ramos's jacket. I love it.
right. And it seriously seems like there could be like a signing at Modern Age the next time Bisley's in the States in exchange for a jacket or a motorcycle, though I am
Or
seriously
a jacket
I'm
or a motorcycle.
I mean, remember that Edgar's got 28 Harleys.
That's true.
He he
That's
he
true.
fixes Harleys. It's not like um possibly a jacket and a motorcycle. I mean, the motorcycle would also have to be gotten home. So like it's easier to take a jacket back to the UK than a motorcycle back to the UK.
Yeah, 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 but
Um, but like my fear and is that we'd book it and Simon would get there and he and Edgar would just vanish on Harleys and like the whole time we go, well, this is Simon's stuff. We think he'll be back later today.
we think he'll be coming back, but that's funny.
The owner brought a cool Harley and they went riding. The last time we pinged Edgar's phone, thankfully his wife put a Find My iPhone on him. They were 600 miles away. This is how I envision it.
Yeah, this is how it's gonna go.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting there with a room full of rabid Simon Bisley fans trying to explain why the boss and Simon went on a motorcycle ride. I'm like, I
Yeah.
prayed for rain. I wanted rain. It was a nice day. They went riding.
Prayed for rain so they would stay put.
Right. But I got to know Olivia Quartaro Briggs, who
Yeah.
did Kill Train and um Jill and the Killers and College Try. Yeah.
Okay.
So um that was fun. If you haven't read Kill Train's way up your alley. I finally read it after meeting her and I liked it. It's really, really good, but it's also very much horror and I don't know how soon I'll reread it.
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
You know, essentially its premise is New York needs to cut down its population, so they institute the kill train where like random subway trains, they just kill all of the people on the train.
Yeah. How are they just like some kind of accident or?
Initially they had something set up, but too many people quit, so they just started putting serial killers on the train.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. Just like let them have like a field day.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I don't know if good idea is the way that I'd phrase it, but
It is. It is.
I understand what you
It
mean.
is a good idea. Okay, it is. It just go with it. It is a good idea. If you want to
Um,
efficiently kill a bunch of people, put a serial killer on a subway train and send them on their way.
um, but yeah, no, it was a good time. I continued to feel like a pro, which was a nice feeling.
My wife and I were talking about that yesterday. We were looking at pictures of that you've posted from the experience. I said, I'm so proud of Tad. Look at what he's done as far as taking 22 panels from two guys sitting in their houses on an early morning to actually showing up at a major convention with panels I mean, you've got them approved and you're going to present them. Uh, you've just done so much, and I love it. Good, so
I
good
mean,
job, Ted.
actually, I thought it was crazy awesome. The Cool People Talking Comics panel
It
went
was
off pretty
very,
well, and that's
I,
that's what a lot of the pictures you've seen came from.
yep,
Um, but not only did it go off well, but like, yeah, we weren't in. Well, I mean, honestly, we were in about the best time slot for that I can think of, except for TSA being an issue, because I think we would have had a much better turnout among creators who were going, God, it's 2:30 on Sunday afternoon. Things are slowing down. I'm so ready to pack up. If they were able to go, ooh, I've got a panel that I can go be on at 2:45,
yep,
right?
yep.
Um, but instead, because of TSA, pretty much anybody flying before 8 was leaving around noon because they
Ugh.
had no idea what to expect at the airport.
Oh man.
I mean, I had a number of people who had told me that they somewhat intended to come, who then, when they saw me on Sunday, were like, "I think I'm going to have to leave to go to the airport. I don't think I can stay long enough to come do this."
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, for that matter, even one of our booked people, um, the Erico Selvi, the
Hmm.
artist that we're
Yep.
he I mean, we kind of had to talk him into it, but like at 2:30, he's like, do you think I can stick around? Should I leave early? And we asked him what time his flight was, and like three of us were immediately like, no, you can't stay for this panel. You need to go to the
Just
airport.
we're like, you gotta go.
Yeah, it's time for you to leave now.
That's funny.
Um,
Poor guy.
but also, I mean, that panel was given one of the room, like the biggest room that didn't go to like pop culture Marvel DC type panels.
Oh, that's awesome.
One that actually had risers,
Hmm.
you know, etc. Like, so that felt pretty cool that my batshit crazy idea was given space,
Given the green light to do what it needs to do.
and, and for that matter, like we were right before bad idea,
That's
you
great.
know,
So
bad
people were,
idea came into the room right after us.
and so those fans were probably already kind of gearing
Some
up
of
to
them,
see Bad
yeah,
Idea. Yep.
right. Some of them were, there was definitely some crossover, that sort of thing. It was really, it was a cool experience. Um, so I enjoyed myself immensely. I'm really proud of the fact that I managed to manage my senses well,
Hmm.
both by having the right toolkit at the con and by just limiting myself and going, okay, no, I'm not going back to the floor today, or um, I'm going in late because like Saturday, after we recorded,
Hmm.
I waited to go in. I almost waited too long because I completely forgot the how long it takes to park. It
Yeah.
was too
And you
cold
gotta,
and rainy to walk from my hotel because it was a little bit more than a mile from my hotel, mile and a half, something like that. And like if it had been nice, I would have just walked the mile and a half, right? I had hoped to be able to do that at least once during the con, but the weather was just terrible.
yeah.
Um, but like I wound up having to text Lucy Nisley from the line at the parking lot to say, "Hey, Lucy, I gave myself an hour and a half to get a mile and a half, but I neglected how long it takes to park."
Funny.
Because it was like 15 minutes before my panel and I wasn't out of my car yet. So I'm like, hopefully I'll be parked in the next couple of minutes, and then it's how long does it take me to get through security? So I wound up walking into the Lucy and Jeffrey panel like right on time.
Oh, fun. Crazy. Oh man.
But they were great. Um, the small press panel was great. You know, I had a cool moment where I was there when Spike Trotman met Terry Moore, and apparently Terry Moore is what brought her back into comics because she'd been a big X-Men person until Age of Apocalypse, when it just got too big for her allowance. You know,
Hmm.
there's too much going on for her allowance, so she fell away from comics entirely. And it was a couple of years later that a friend of hers gave her Strangers in Paradise, and well, the rest is history. You've got Iron Circus now. But
Hmm.
like, I was there when she met and told Terry Moore that story, and
That's
that was just
awesome.
kind of that was cool. Um, so like, yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I've talked about it a lot, particularly since we hit season 5, that like
Hmm.
I feel like I live in the Twilight Zone now, and that con was
You know
definitely
why
an
though?
experience of that.
Because you didn't wait around for things to happen for you. You have gone out and made them happen. You've made it a reality for you to be in this comic world. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, a little bit. I
Yeah.
get where you're coming from, but also it turns out that the road was, at least the road of podcaster was like much easier than I expected it to be. Because yes, I managed to make myself send emails and whatnot, but they all fucking respond.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you didn't have a platform like a podcast, you would have had no way in. I mean, what would you
That's
have just said?
possible.
You would have been like, "Hey, I'm a fan." They would have been like, "Great, can't wait for you to read the next book." But
Right.
instead, you're like, "Hey, I want to talk to you and let's flush this out." And then
But I
that's
but I'm also completely honest about the fact that we have like 4 listeners.
Yeah, it's funny though because it sounds self-deprecating, like you're just like stretching that truth, but it's not that far off, you know.
I mean, I still don't know how
Accurate.
streaming parts get counted. You
Hmm.
know, I've messed around a little bit with Podbean, and Podbean seems to give us streaming numbers a little bit better than uh I don't even remember the other one we were on. What were we on before Podbean?
I don't know. Um, but I cannot
Yeah,
remember. It's a tip of my tongue. But we've used a few different hosting sites.
couple.
Yeah.
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 But it still seems very, I'm not clear on whether or not we know every time somebody streams on Spotify or every time somebody stream. I mean, I think I can go to YouTube to get the count from YouTube, but
Hmm.
we've only recently gotten to YouTube. And because we're only audio on YouTube, we're really only getting the people who like their podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which
We're
I think
not
is
utilized.
more people. Like I have just a YouTube audio player. I've reached a point where my premium audio subscription is YouTube.
Oh, okay.
They have the best audio player. I mean, really, it's I switched because of the 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 audio player on um Amazon's audio player is just crap now.
Is it?
It skips too much. It can't handle playlists. It can't, you know, um so yeah, no, it looks like we have 15 subscribers and 745 of our 800 some odd episodes are now on YouTube. Um but do we have a listener count? That's what I want to figure out. I want to figure out if oh no, it looks like all 827 of them might be on the podcast portion, but I want to
Okay.
know, can I pull up?
YouTube numbers.
Yeah, I want, because you know how like you know how YouTube. generally has a thing that says, you know, I mean, we have no votes on our last issue episode, but I don't see a play. Oh, 0 comments. I don't see a play count.
Okay,
And I wonder if that means it just hasn't been played.
maybe.
Oh, wait a minute. There's an analytics button. What does the analytics say? Here we are doing YouTube analytics in real time. Uh, so our last episode hasn't gotten any views since it was published. It was published
Okay.
on like Thursday. Um, so yeah. Uh, there doesn't seem to be a way to, yeah, I'll have to play with that at some point. So yeah, this is where I remind everybody, like, follow us on as many pod services as you use. Followers matter for the damn algorithm. Rate, review, all that stuff. Even if you say we're terrible, more reviews are good. More ratings are good, though 5-star ratings are way better. Like, give me a 5-star rating and then tell me I'm shit. That's cool. I don't read the reviews.
Just go ahead and do the rating. That's all I care about.
I mean, from an algorithmic standpoint, I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Just yeah, just give us the numbers
Oh,
and then you
oh,
can rate
and
as much.
and like just because I happen to be on this subject, we do have a Patreon. It is allowed for people who aren't family members to give us money.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it still goes to Tyler.
It's accumulating into it doesn't go to me, it goes to um the Patreon and we can log in and transfer it to an account.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool.
It does not go to me.
Gotcha.
In the Patreon account, it's
So you don't have
accumulating.
it set up to auto. It's just
No.
there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no,
That's something I'll look at eventually.
I have not touched it. So it's whatever people have been paying for
I think
since.
eight
Yeah.
dollars a month
Yep. Okay. So you
plus,
probably have
plus
a
our
small
annual
chunk.
contributions from Andy.
Yep. So you probably have a small um
Stockpile.
amount there. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
So, yep. All right.
Um,
So let's move on, Tad,
that's what I was
because
about to say. Books we
my
hope will be spectacular.
yeah. So I'm going to piggyback on yours because I also think your first two are going to be great. I'm
Uh,
not into number three at all.
Not at all.
I do not follow. Okay, let's start with your number three.
Okay. Bleeding
God,
Hearts and Dork number 3. Third issues
oh,
are where Matt Fraction say things get going.
yeah.
And like the first 2 issues of both of these have been great. So if the third issue is where the story really starts, I am on board. So that's Bleeding Hearts, Dennis Camp and Stippian Morian, and Dork from Brett Bean. And
Yeah.
I don't Godzilla Monster Piece Theater presents Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla isn't on your list.
I am not interested in any Godzilla stuff. So
There has
maybe
been some fucking great Godzilla stuff.
I will have to read it. It's in my store. I just
I
have
mean, you
not.
should at the very least read the Godzilla versus America books.
Okay. Yeah, I saw whatever city was the recent one.
Portland. It was
Portland.
great.
Yep. Okay.
It's fucking amazing.
I just have never been a Godzilla fan, so I've never
I
looked
haven't
at it.
either.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
Okay.
But like the Tom Scioli backup story in this is Godzilla and Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, we already had the Godzilla Monster Piece Theater where it was Godzilla and Sherlock Holmes and Gatsby, and I forget who else.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, like this is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not our grandfather's Godzilla.
Okay. Okay. I will give it a whirl. I mean,
I
it
mean,
took me.
I would say like at the very least I would hit. I mean, I hate saying this. The Godzilla Kansas City is like the weakest of the bunch, but it's really
Okay.
good.
All right.
Um, Godzilla Chicago, Godzilla LA, Godzilla Boston, and Godzilla Portland are outstanding.
Okay.
And I'm actually looking forward to Godzilla Texas, which is right around the corner. Um, so But anyway, books I know are spectacular.
Yeah.
Uh, the Corto Maltese, Fable of Venice, and Other Adventures from Hugo Pratt is coming out from Fantagraphics. Everyone Loves a Jewel Thief, #1 from Tim Seeley, who will be appearing at Modern Age Comics on Free Comic Book Day, and Aaron Campbell from Ignition, and then Neighborhood Watch #1 from Sarah Gailey and Haining at Boom was so good. Um, so yeah, that's
I
that's what
I'm
I
looking
got.
forward to all of that. And that uh
Phil's not
collection.
here for a trade raider graphic novel pick. Do you want to pick one?
No.
No.
But I do want to go back. Everything Dead and Dying. I have my collection right here.
Well, there's your pick. Everything Dead and Dying.
Yes, Everything Dead and Dying. I have not been reading the series, so being able to read it in a collected edition has been something I'm looking forward to. I love the cover.
Hmm.
It's very like a surreal kind of impressionist kind of artwork.
Well, and
Uh,
Jacob Phillips is just outstanding.
uh, I agree. He is outstanding at what he does, but what he does is usually not something that's like my cup of tea. Um, so, but now it's sometimes it's just a little too like painterly
Right.
for like a comic book vibe for me. So in no way am I saying I don't like Jacob Phillips artwork.
Well, I mean,
That's
definitely does painted
yeah,
covers, but I think he does emotions and acting better than most people who paint their because he draws first and then paints.
yeah.
So it's like eh, I mean, I guess everybody draws first and then paints, but he's not going for photorealism most of the time.
No, 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 definitely not.
Um,
He's good. It's
yeah,
definitely more of a like, especially on the cover of this. It's very impressionistic almost.
yeah, yeah,
I gotta look at where it's at, but
yeah.
yeah. So that would be my trade waiter because I definitely have traded
Oh
those.
yeah, no, I actually need to finish it still. I think I've read the first 3 issues.
Okay.
But it was so good. I mean,
And then out of your honorable mentions, Pretty Hate Machine is
also
high on
Tim
my list.
Seeley.
Yep. And then Star Trek Lower Decks.
I love that book.
I have been reading it because it's, just like more humor than more Star
Yeah,
Trek. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
So it's not that hard to get into because it's
No,
silly. And
I love that book.
yeah,
I love that book.
the cartoon is
Uh,
also good, I heard.
I didn't manage to actually talk to Tim Sheridan because he was never at his table when I was over visiting. Chris Condon and Zach Kaplan had tables right next to each other, so I was over there uh, relatively often. But Tim was either never at his table or never at his table and free. But I wanted to give him like a major hat tip for um, Star Trek Lower Decks because not only is it fantastic, but like he took over for Ryan North, who had killed it. And
Yes.
that's not an easy assignment to take
No.
over from Ryan North on a humor book.
No, and Ryan North was perfect for that job.
Right, right.
But
So
it's
Ryan North and Erica Henderson have a fantastic story in Mad About DC.
they do. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
yeah, yeah.
They have a long history of writing and
They do.
drawing together, and it always turns out really, really well.
I got to hang with or well, not hang with. I talked to Erica Henderson at her booth for a while too.
Okay.
Um, she was another person that I got to see Spike Trotman geek with because it was the first time they were meeting,
Hmm.
but they have enough of an online relationship that they both recognized each other. Well, Spike was knew who she was going to see, but Erica immediately recognized Spike. Apparently, Erica has encouraged Spike into various things like knitting and whatnot because Erica's always showing off her knitting and embroidery projects. Remember, right before we had her on, she'd done the 22 panels cookies.
Yeah. Okay.
This is one of the things that I love is like the creative people who like, okay, I'm done with my day job of drawing, so I'm gonna go embroider. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go make I'm gonna go make cookies that are of the 22 panels or
Yeah.
the people who just have so much creativity in their bones that like even their downtime is more creative stuff.
Mhm.
That's just
Yeah.
that's that's cool.
It- yeah. All right. Well, I would like to mosey on to
It is that time.
the
You're the
rest
one
of
that
my
closes
morning.
the episode, dude. I'm
So
just
I
waiting for you.
So I am going to close it out. It has been fun, Ted. This is like a step back to what we were doing a few years ago. But I do miss Phil. He adds a certain je ne sais quoi to the conversation. Uh, so we will hopefully be back as a trio next week. But
With more Copra.
yeah, until then, oh, that's right. We got to go back to Cobra. Remember to read it. Until then, guys, we'll catch you after the next page. See ya.